Hello, my name is Quinn Rawson, and today I'd like to tell you an adaptation of a grim fairy tale about a man who tried to cheat death. This story is called Godfather Death. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who had so many children he couldn't provide for all of them. On the day that his last son was born, he ran out into the street to try and find a godfather for his son, someone who could provide for him for the rest of his life. After encountering a few unlikely candidates, he saw Death moseying up the street. "What can I do for you?" said Death. "Please, I'm looking for a godfather for my son," the farmer responded. "Choose me," said Death. "I make all men equal." "You're the man for the job," said the father. "Please, the christening is on Saturday, and don't be late." And Death wasn't. He showed up for the christening, and he continued to watch over the young boy as he grew. On the day that the boy decided to make his way in the world, for he had reached his full stature, Death invited him into the forest to receive his christening gift at last. "This," said Death, "is a special herb. Pick it, and you shall become the most famous doctor in the world, for this herb can heal anyone of any disease." "Thank you, Godfather. This is such a beautiful gift. What should I do in return for such a wonderful gift?" To which Death responded, "I shall come with you to every patient's home. If I stand at the head of the bed, you know that they shall live, and you will administer the healing herb. But if I stand at the foot of the bed, their life has come to a close, and you must let me take them." The young man readily agreed, plucked the herb, and went to make his way in the world. And soon, just as Death had predicted, he became the most famous doctor in all of the land. He was highly sought after, for people said he merely had to look at a patient, and he would know whether or not they would live or die. Of course, it was thanks to his godfather. Many years continued this way, until one day, the beloved king of the land fell ill. The young doctor was called for, and upon entering the king's royal bedchambers, he found Death looming at the foot of the bed. Afraid of what would happen if the young doctor let the king die, he conspired to cheat his godfather, because surely he would be forgiven just this once. He quickly spun the king around in the bed so that Death was now standing at the king's head. He administered the healing herb, and soon the king began to revive. "You have cheated me," said Death, "but because you are my godson, I will forgive you this once. But do not cheat me again." A few days later, the princess fell deathly ill, and the king promised her hand and half of the kingdom to anyone who could heal her. The young doctor imagined what his life would be like, with half of the kingdom, a beautiful wife, riches, and the crown. He rushed to the princess's royal bedchambers, intent on healing her, but when he entered, Death was standing at the foot of her bed. Overcome by greed and desire, the young doctor again turned the patient around in the bed, administered the healing herbs, and watched as the princess started to revive. "You have cheated me for a second time," Death growled, and he grabbed his godson, dragging him from the room, out of the castle, down deep into the earth, into a cave filled with candles. "These are the candles that represent everyone's life on earth. And look, there's yours," said Death. The young doctor turned and saw a tiny sputtering candle on the verge of going out. His life was at an end. "No, please, dear godfather, get me a new candle." "Fine," said Death. And acting as if to reach for a new candle, he picked up the waning candle of his godson and snuffed it out. For Death cannot be cheated. In the end, Death was true to his word. He makes all men equal. in death. Thank you for listening to my adaptation of a grim fairy tale.